It's Nichole Brehmer, and this is my critical assignment number 2. I chose the book Apple Pie 4th of July by Janet S. Wong, and it will be for my first grade class. And I chose 4 activities based off the Florida Standard LAF.S.1.SL.1.1, and this Florida Standard is comprehension and collaboration. And I will be studying rules for the small group discussions, and they will follow the rules. And then when they'll follow the rules, and then they'll build on talk off of each other's responses, and then respond to each other. So, and then we'll re-collaborate in a large group, and I'll ask questions to clarify everything. So that's basically what the Florida Standard is, and I'll go over it more through each activity and how each activity demonstrates the Florida Standard. The 4 activities that I chose to do is the retelling glove for level 1 students, and they will use the retelling glove, and then they'll follow up with a higher level thinking question. And then for level 2 students, I chose to do a role and retell, and then they'll follow up with a different higher level thinking question. And then for level 3 students, I chose to do a writing prompt in their journals that they'll discuss, and then they'll follow up and discuss and answer a higher level thinking question. And then for my second language learners, I chose to do a flow map, and it has sequence pictures, and then they'll follow up with a different higher level thinking question geared more towards them. I'm going to go ahead and explain each one of those in detail, and I'll go ahead and start. Alright, we just read Apple Pie 4th of July, and now we're going to break up into small groups. Before we break up into small groups, I want to go ahead and set some ground rules. We are going to be discussing in our small groups. I'll go ahead and elaborate what we're doing in a little bit. But we need to know that if someone else is talking, we don't talk over them. And then we also need to use kind words. So let's not say anything hurtful towards each other about what someone else said. If they have an opinion about something, that's their opinion. But go ahead and let's use nice words and not put anybody down. Group 1 will be using the retelling glove. This is, it's all in here, everything you need. So you're going to open it up, and it's going to snap. And you're going to pull out the retelling glove. Some of you used this before, and some of you haven't. And it's going to go on your left hand. And you guys are going to put it on. And you're going to use this to retell the story. So in case you guys don't remember, there is a picture on each finger so you can remember the name of the story, what happened first, second, third, and fourth. So you can use the pictures to help you remember what happened in the story. So this story is Apple Pie 4th of July by Janet S. Wong. They opened their Chinese store on the 4th of July. And then you can continue. No one eats Chinese food on the 4th of July, she thought. Why are Mom and Dad opening the Chinese store on 4th of July? No one eats Chinese food. And then you can continue with each picture telling the story. Each person in the group will have a turn using the retelling glove and telling the story. If someone forgets what part it was, you can help them out a little bit. But for the most part, I feel like everybody should be really good at this. And then after everyone has gotten a turn in the group, you can go ahead and put the retelling glove back in the bag and pull out the question. And there's a question that you guys can answer. So one person at a time will answer the question, and you guys can talk, or you guys can read the question, and then one person at a time can answer it, and then you guys can give your opinions and talk about it and what you think the answer will be. So this question is, why did the author write Christmas is the only day where we close? So you guys can go ahead and think about it. You can say what you think the answer is, and then talk about it, and then come to one conclusion. And then when we go back into our large groups, we'll go ahead and we'll discuss what you think the answer is. Group 1, which is also level 1, met the Florida standard. It had the comprehension part where they retold the story, so they were able to remember what happened in the story, and they also answered a critical thinking question, which made them think a little bit deeper and at a higher level. And then also they followed the ground rules that were set by the teacher. They were able to discuss and use those ground rules to answer the question together, and then when they get back in the large group, they'll discuss with the teacher, and the teacher will answer any questions, along with the teacher going around and making sure that they're following the rules and that they're doing the discussion properly and respectfully. So this activity definitely covered this Florida standard. And group 2 will also be retelling the story, but instead of pictures and retelling the story, you guys will be using the roll and retell, which it involves questions. So you'll be answering the questions. Each student will get 2 turns. You guys will have the bag. Everything you need is inside the bag. You will pull out the roll and retell card, and then you will pull out a dice. The first person that goes will roll a dice, and you will get a number, and I got the number 1. So on the roll and retell sheet, you look at 1, and then you read the question, and then you will answer the question. And then the next person will go, and then the next person will go, and the next person will go. So I got 1, and it says, what is the story mostly about? And the story is mostly about the main character being embarrassed by her parents. And you can say what you think the story is mostly about. This is about what you think the story is about, not what I think. So don't say the same thing I said. So each person will get how many turns? 2 turns. So you roll it once, then you pass it to the next person, and everybody will get 2 turns. You should get through all the questions, and then once everybody had a turn, you will pull out of your bag the question and put back the dice and the roll and retell sheet. And you guys will read the question, and just like group 1, you guys will each discuss the question and answer the following, and you will write down in your journals what you think the answer is. So that way when you go back to our large group discussion, you guys will tell us what your question was and what conclusion you guys came to. Alright, group 2, which is also level 2, also follows the Florida standard that I was going for. They are using comprehension. They're retelling the story. They're just telling the story, something that is more at their level, so they can read questions and they'll be able to answer them. And then they're following the rules of discussion, and they're also discussing and responding to each other, answering the higher thinking question. And so that's how they follow that Florida standard. Okay, and now group 3 will take their journal and their pencil to the writing center, and in the writing center you'll find what you guys will be talking about and what you'll be writing about, and a little bit of tools that you can utilize. So the first thing you will discuss is you will discuss and write about a tradition your own family has. So I want you to tell each other about a tradition that your family has and share it with each other. And then once everybody has had a turn and we let everybody speak, we will discuss and write how you feel about your tradition compared to how the main character felt about her tradition. So you discuss how you feel and how it compared to the main character, and then you write about it and let everybody have a turn, so each person will be able to discuss how they felt. And a tool you guys can utilize, this is, you can write the main characters, with the differences and similarities, so you'll put the differences that you have and the differences she has, and then things that you felt the same, if you both felt embarrassed, or if if the main character felt embarrassed, but you don't feel embarrassed. So go ahead and use this to organize your thoughts. And then after everybody has, after you have done that, go ahead and get the critical thinking question that's on there, and answer the critical thinking questions just like the other groups, and let each person have a turn to say what they what they want to say, and then write it down in your journals, and we'll share at the large groups. Group 3, which is also the level 3 students in the class, covers and meets the standard. It covers comprehension, which they are reviewing what how the little girl felt in comparison to how they felt. So they have to review what happened in the story. Then it also, they have to follow the rules and discussion. So when they're discussing how they feel, they're commenting on each other, they're going to have to follow the same rules. And then they are also responding to each other, and then they're going to go back in the large groups, and the teacher will answer any questions. And for group 4, you will be using the flow map to retell the story. So you will take the flow map, which looks like this, and I'll have a little baggie with the accessories, and you're going to sequence the pictures. You're going to put them in order of how the story relates. So you guys can discuss, you guys can take turns, and each of you will put these pictures in order of what happened first, what happened next, what then happened, and then what happened last. And then that will sequence you just sequence the pictures so that way you can tell the story. After everyone in the group has had a turn, and feel free to help each other doing that, you will get the critical thinking question, and you will ask the critical thinking question, and then you will each respond to it. And then when we come back in the large group discussion, you will go ahead and I'll call on you, and then you'll let us know what everybody thought. One person from the group can let everybody know. Group 4, which is also for second language learners. The reason why I chose this one for second language learners was because it uses pictures, and no one felt uncomfortable, and if they got the order wrong, they didn't feel terrible about themselves. So I'll go around and help and assist, but they can easily put the pictures in the flow map, and they kind of use this to organize their thoughts as well. And then if one person gets it, then they will all get it, and they'll be able to work together to figure it out. And that's part of the reason why it works for this Florida standard, is because they are working together. They're discussing if that goes first, why doesn't that go first, and therefore, and so on and so on. So they're able to use the rules and respect each other and put everything in order and discuss it together. And then they are coming back to the large group to ask any questions if they had any issues, and they are using higher thinking because they are answering the question at the end as well as discussing it.